Welcome to the part 2 of the podcast with Sreesha Ravindran. Positive vibes to anyone who's watching this podcast. In the part 1, she spoke about her childhood and role of Bharatanatyam in her life. Now, in the part 2, she's going to talk about her goals, the destination in life, then, a sharp contrast of the different domains of life that she saw in the snowstorm, a near death experience, and also about her actual goal and how she's trying to accomplish it. So, let's hear it from her. Let's get started. So, welcome back to day 2 of the podcast. So, Sreesha, let's continue with the adventures that we were talking about. So, can you describe what you went through during the snowstorm at Somoriri? So,
Okay.
what lessons did you learn from it? So please share that.
So, this happened in somewhere around 2016, and that was when I was doing a trek called Chada Trek. So basically, you walk around 110 kilometer on a frozen lake. So and it was a winter expedition. So what happens is the flights can get cancelled frequently. So that year, I think the flights were just getting cancelled for around 2 to 3 weeks continuously, and there were a lot of people stuck in Leh. So then I decided to go for a trip, and I contacted my friend, my one of my good friend who is there, Jigmet, and then he arranged a road trip for me to Pangong Lake and then Somoriri and then Nubra and then come back to Leh. So till Pangong was fine, then we went to Somoriri. So Somoriri is like one of the one remote part of Leh, as in it's really far from the Leh city. And there's a village, Karzok village. So they have an ITBP camp there. So by the time, I think after we left from Pangong, by the time we reached Somoriri, it was around, I think, 2 a.m. in the night. And there was heavy snowfall. And I think the snow was around 3.5 feet or something. So the car was not able to go ahead. There was a small path, but because of the snow, the car was not able to move. So what we did for some time was we were clearing the snow. In the sense, there was a bucket inside the car, and I had a DSLR camera that time. So the cover of the camera, that was like, it's quite big. So we were just moving the snow on the way, and then and it's really cold. It's like minus 35. It's maybe more than that. So we were freezing, and we are not advised to go out at that point of time. But we just, because if you are staying in the car, diesel will be frozen, and we can't even on the heater. I don't think the car had a heater also at that point of time, and so we'll be dead inside. So we were just trying to move the snow, but it did not help much. And as time was going, I think it was around 4 a.m. So we could go a little bit. Again, this happened. Then we attached chain to the tire, and none of it worked. It was just working for like maybe for a short duration, and then we are stuck again. So slowly, we were going like that, and finally we saw the ITPP camp, and they rescued us. And then we went to a small, homestay there. And we did not have diesel, and whatever we had was frozen. I mean, the car was not moving, and we can't move. Now we can't go out of this place, Karzok, because they said it will take a week to clear the snow. Then I got very impatient, and I called my home. They got panicked because I have no idea where I am. I had no idea about this village. I just thought we stay here for a day and we go back, but I'm like, I have to stay here for a week. And it was so depressing because everywhere it's white because of heavy snowfall. Everywhere it is just white color. You don't see anything. People are not coming outside. They're just inside their home. And it's only me and maybe, one or two villagers just roaming inside the whole village. So it got very depressing after a while. And I was staying in a homestay, a proper, one homestay in Karzok village. They were like proper localites. And there's no place to change your clothes or to take. So there was a basement where I used to go and change my clothes if I wanted to. And I saw all dead pieces of yak there. Like the head is separated, the intestines, the legs, that's what they stored in their basement. And I was little scared, and I felt, that's their culture because they feed a lot on yak meat. But for us, when you suddenly see the yak head covered in blood, and there's a lot of flies around it, so that their basement is full of these kind of things. And I was like, I just want to get out of this place. And I mean, there was some other meat too. I don't know. I didn't explore much. And I immediately came up. Then I asked my driver. Driver was also there. He was staying in a different place. I asked him how soon can we go from this place, and he said, "Ma'am, really not possible because the whole place is covered with so around 4 feet of snow. ITBP has to clear it with that snow clearing vehicle, and then they have to provide us diesel. Only then we can do." So it was January 25th. I still remember, and 26th, sorry, and there was a flag hoisting and all in a monastery there, and there was a festival also. There's a monastery in that village, and there was a festival also. So I could witness the flag hoisting. A lot of army guys came, and for them the snow was cleared quite a bit. So then I had a hope that we can move out very fast because these people had to come and they started clearing the snow. All the army officials, ITBP, chief and all that. And so I witnessed the flag hoisting that time. There were a lot of people, and that was quite a good moment, I would say. Like, I would never get to, somewhere interior of Leh, you are witnessing the flag hoisting and celebrations and all that. And then followed by that was that festival in the monastery. And I heard that Dalai Lama is coming along with a lot of monks. And and then I used to spend a lot of time in this monastery. So the monk there used to ask me, why are you here at this time and all that, and I used to tell him that I got stuck, and we used to have conversations. So then he used to ask me about my life, and I used to take, so he was the only guy in the monastery. So when he chant, I used to just go near him and sit, and I used to hear the chanting, be part of it. At times I used to clean that place for him. I was doing all of that. It was really good. That way I was liking it. But then the minute I get out of the monastery, I used to feel depressed because I was not liking the food also. I mean, they have just bare minimum, but even the taste, we will not be able to adjust with it after some point of time. Or, you just have to eat it, whatever. And then I still remember that, the driver came and told me that we don't have diesel. The route is clear, but we need diesel and all that. So ITB people already know us. So what I did was I ran. I think it was 4:30 or 5 in the morning. It's very cold. There was so much of snow, but I didn't care. I just ran from my So then I ran to the ITBP camp at 4 in the 5 in the morning, and I went through. I was all frozen, like, because it's that cold, and I was not properly. I didn't have proper clothing. I just went from there and I reached the ITBP camp. And then the first thing they did was they gave me hot chai, breakfast, and some dry fruits and all of that. Then I told them the situation. I said, I'm stuck here for over a week. I have to leave now. I heard the route is clear. We need diesel. How much ever you need, we'll pay you. Just give us the diesel. Then they just gave us 40 liters of diesel, and they did not take money from us, I think. I don't know if they have taken anything from the driver, but as far as I know, they didn't take anything. And they gave us a lot of dry fruits and some food on the way, water, like that, lot of things. And that was like so good. I mean, they were so nice to us. And after that, when we were leaving, we just went to the camp to say thank you and all that. And what I saw was more than 100 monks. They were all clothed in maroon, the thing they wear, and clothes they wear. So they were all clothed in that, and they were just wearing bare minimum clothes, like just a jacket and that linen kind of thing, and then just a woolen cap. And they were just chanting. All these 100 plus monks, they were chanting, and they were walking on that white, it was a plain football kind of road. Like, there was nothing on this side or that. It was just white color. And all these monks are in line. So much of discipline. They are not cutting the line. They are all walking in one line. There are horses. Like, the monks who are like very old, they were on the horses. And the ITBP army, one of the guy told me that there can be a Dalai Lama in this, but we don't know, because he's just like others. He doesn't need any special treatment. He would walk them with, like, as if he's also one of them. That, what do you call it? That authority and all that, they don't display all of that. So he was just one among them. And I that was like one majestic view, because it was so beautiful. It's so white, and you are leaving the place after some sort of trauma, and then you get to witness this. And then I just stood there for almost 10-15 minutes just to see all of them going. And I think what it taught me was, like, if you ask me what that whole experience taught me, I think sometimes, even though we know we can't control everything in life, we still try to control, right? We still try to control because we have ego. It's naturally, we are built that way. We have ego. We are wired that way so bad that how much ever we try that we have to let go of that, I think somewhere we fail, maybe every time we fail. So this one situation kind of reinforced that thought inside me, that if there is something you cannot control, you cannot control, that's it. There is nothing you can do about it. So just accept it, wait for the course, like the thing to get over, and wait patiently, because if you don't have patience, that's again going to do something really bad to you. So I think that's the biggest lesson I've learned. And I also thought you're actually in the right place, even though things may seem so bad around you, but that's where you should be at that point of time. And because I always felt that experience that I had, that I was alone and just lost in some world. These experiences that I had, it made me like confidence. Of course it was risky, but it gave me a lot of confidence also, because I never thought in my life I would be doing any of this. And I just happened to do it, and it was not planned. So I think it's just that, if something comes your way, and if you really know that it's not under your control, don't try to control it, because you can't do anything about it. And maybe there is something good that comes out of it also. Maybe be it people, be it experiences, whatever it is. If it has to be there with you, you have to go through it, you will have to face it. For good or bad, that I don't know. But yeah, that's what I think. That's what that one experience taught me. And it's very important for mountaineering also, that thought. Yeah.
Sure. So, the way you're describing, it's like I can actually picturize all those things, and it's so descriptive. And
Yeah.
I can see, that your life is so adventurous, and you are able to face all this, like, just seeing that yak meat in a basement. I don't know how many of us would be able to survive that.
Yeah, I mean, I was scared.
Yeah. So yes, and then after that, looking at this scene, where you see these monks, and
Yeah.
it's really such a vast difference. So yeah, that's really nice of you to share that. So now let's move on to the next question. Now we'll just discuss a little bit on the personal front, like the family
Sure.
relationships. Okay. So yeah, like how has your son been a part of these adventures?
My son.
Yes, how has he been a part
Okay.
of these adventures, and what values you hope that he learns from this?
So, initially, yes, of course, like we discussed before, I had my doubts when I was leaving him for 10 days. But then what I used to think was, if it was for work, I have to travel somewhere for work. There's some training or some meeting, something, and I need to travel to a different state or a different country, then I would be leaving him. But that time, there won't be much guilt like this, because that's a job which will benefit the family also. We are driven by these. But this is something I'm doing because I'm passionate about it. And then we think we will have that guilt, okay, because we are doing something for ourselves. Then that's where we don't love ourselves, or we don't spend much time just self love or doing self love. So that's something I think most of the women lack, not just in India, all over the world. So what I thought was, if I go like this, probably he will become independent to do his things, and whatever he wants to do, and he will be able to gel with people more, so that he just doesn't hold on to me all the time, because the world is changed. It's not like how we were. I mean, how when we were kids, right? I mean, the kids these days, they are so independent, and I thought that will benefit my son. And yes, it did, because whenever I go, my son was doing most of his things alone, and he was with my mom, or so if there was any issues at school, or be it his homework or be it his studies, I understood that he's just doing it by himself, because he now knows that mommy is not there, so he has to do it, and there's nobody that can help him. So I think he also faced a little bit of struggle initially, like figuring out how to do, what to do, but later he learned it. And about the encouragement part, I felt one thing I've seen is he's very much bothered about his fitness. Say he checks his weight every week. He sees if he's increased his weight, reduced his weight, and he works out at home if there is. So he goes for taekwondo. He's a national taekwondo champion, and he goes for football and swimming also. And if there are no practice days, then I've seen him working out at home, taking my weights and all of that. And nobody asks him to do that. He just works out. And it looks funny also sometimes because, and then he starts climbing the stairs because I do that before we go for a climb. So he tries to do all the workout that I'm doing. And then he'll check his weight and he'll tell me I've reduced this much. And, if he gets a little conscious, if he's increased his weight, or, if I say some food is junk, then he'll stop eating it or he'll eat in moderation. So I think that's one main thing that he's got inspired by his looking at me, or he wanted to adapt because, and I think it's a very good stuff because these days, how many people are into fitness? It's very less, right? Hardly you'll see anyone. And even in kids, that thought is not there at all because it's, junk food and all that. My son also eats junk food, but he learned to eat that in moderation. So when he knows where to stop, or I'll tell him this is too much of junk, then he'll not eat it. And if he feels he's put on weight, then he's on a move to run to reduce all the weight that he's put on. So that's, like I said, I think that's a really good thing that he took from me. And the other thing is, he is equally interested in mountaineering, or he's very motivating because recently something happened that we have our boots that we use for climbing, last Spotiva boots, and that's very expensive. It's around 75,000 rupees, and there's a liner inside that. Without that liner we can't climb. So during one of my climb I lost one liner, and then I was telling him, now I have to buy this, it's expensive. The liner alone can cost 15 to 20K and all that. I was telling him. And then he said, I'll give you from my piggy bank savings. That's how he's very much interested in me going for climb. Because when I go for climb, he'll be eagerly waiting to see if I submitted. Did you submit? What is the height of this peak? Then I see him checking on YouTube. Is it technical, non-technical? What is the fatality rate? How many people have died and how many successful summit? A lot of things. He just goes and search. Even I don't do all that. And then he will be like, you don't climb this peak because it's looking very dangerous, but you go and climb the other one. So even for Everest, I was a bit demotivated. Sometimes I'll be like, I'm not doing it, yeah, it's too much. Then he's like, no, you are doing it. And he used to get angry and also that he's like, you're just spending these many days of your life there, just go do it, please. And then he'll be checking in Google about articles about me. Like there are some articles, if you just put my name, some articles will pop up. And then he'll be going around showing his friends all those articles. So I think he understood that, even everybody has a life of their own. They have to do what they want. And it is not like I'm not being a good mother by sacrificing my whole life for him. And I think he accepts that fact. Even he's very opinionated. If he wants something, he'll say and he will do. Like I said, he's a national taekwondo champion, and before that, I mean, he's an international taekwondo champion. He had an Asian championship this time and he won bronze. So before that, during the national, he got heavily injured. And my mother said, the grandmom love. She said, give up, you don't do this and all that. But he didn't give up. I saw him practicing really hard, and it was a comeback for him during this Asian championship. And even during this, the child opposite to him, he was quite tall and elder to him. And so whatever kicks that child is giving, it's very easy to land on my son because my son is shorter than him. And during this championship also, he did get injured and he was in tears, but he did not give up. So he went on and on and on, and then he got a bronze medal. And that's when I understood that he has learned that resilience and to fight till end, all of that. So I think it was a really good thing. Yeah.
So, like as you say about him being so conscious about his fitness and being such an athlete, like he's quite sporty. So, I think it's like something that you can't teach just theoretically. So it's just how much they learn, from us by watching us.
Correct.
And that
Exactly.
actually instills in them.
Correct. Yeah.
So let us also go now towards your husband. So how does he support in all this, and what is your how do you navigate the societal expectations? So just
So
yeah,
yeah.
role of your husband in your life. Yes.
So, I was a single mom, right? I told you I was a single mother for almost, I think 6 to 7 years. And at that point of time, it was tough because, like I said, I had to do it all alone and, managing my son and all that. And there was no support as such. It's only my mother. Then I have a few good friends. So there's no other support as such from the family because being a conservative family, relatives were of no support. And nobody was there in actually from family to support me. It was just my mother. And then when I got married, now my husband is into a lot of running, trail running, and all that. So he started showing a lot of interest in mountaineering, and now he's also coming with me
Oh,
for
wow.
anything. Even if he can't do, he just comes with me. And like this time, and one last month, I went for a peak, and he also came. And it was a little tough for him to, towards the end, but he still submitted. And but last time when we went, he felt a little sick, but this time he covered it up, and he was doing good training and all that. And now when I'm doing Everest also, he's saying I'll come till base camp and I'll wait there. So he's very much interested in this sports, and he also understands like why I have to work out, why is workout so important for me, why I have to do what I want to do. I think we get tired when our partner doesn't understand the need of why we are doing certain things, and every day we have to sit and make them understand why I'm doing this, why I'm doing. That's when it gets tiring. I think the relationship becomes very tiring. But when you have someone who just understands, you don't have to explain. So he understands or she understands why you are doing certain things. I think then the relationship becomes very easy, because you seeing just one person's face whole life and just doing the things that's required for home. After a point you will get tired of it, because there is something, you are not that, there is an individuality, and we need to respect that on both sides. So I think that is, he does that, a lot of that. He always tells me that you don't try to change from what you, this is what you are. You have to work out. A good day for you starts with a good workout, otherwise that's not a good day for you. And you, even if you don't eat, it's fine, but you need to work out. That's what you are. So just accept it. And I'm a very outdoorsy person, like I'm into a lot of these things. So he said, just do what you want to do. Don't try to change, because if you change, it's not good for the house as well. So just be what you are. So I think that's the kind of support. So now things have become a little easy since my marriage, because to manage my son when I'm going out, he's there, and my mother also helps me at times. So I think that's all we need. Rest is all on how we take things, right? We just need little that support, wherein at least one work we can share with our partner, and then things get easy for us. That 1 hour of work which we were supposed to do, like taking care of the child, or asking, your child has studied something and you need to ask question. I think those simple small things, if somebody else takes the load, I think then our life is quite easy, wherein we can do other things also. That's what I believe. It's just small thing that matters. So yes, he supports me a lot that way.
Yeah, yeah. So, how did you guys meet?
So he's my relative, and I had no idea a relative like this existed. So, and he was in the US. He was in the US, and it's a second marriage for him too. So my mother was, looking for proposals actively on matrimonial websites and all that. And that's when this proposal came, and when we inquired, we got to know that he's my relative. And then family was really confident. Okay, they are all known people. There's no worry and all that. And then it just happened. It was all very quick. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's great, to give a second chance to yourself, and see, now you have such a great bonding. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's nice. So let's discuss something like something about women empowerment and motivation. Okay. So now you're like as a woman adventurer in a male-dominated, treks and all. How do you handle criticism, and what advice you would give to someone who's facing these barriers?
So in mountaineering field, I have not faced criticism from the other gender as such. Okay, they were supportive, and it's not like they judge you if you're slow. I have not come across anyone of that sort. In fact, I mean, in the mountaineering community, I'm saying. In fact, for most of the expedition, I was alone. I mean, I was the only girl, and when there were instances where I had to go to toilet, or while you're just walking or climbing, or if I was on my periods, they were quite supportive. And I just have to tell them, just turn, or I have to do this, or maybe I have to share tent with my friends with this. If I'm sharing tent with someone, then I need to change clothes. I just tell them I have to change clothes, please stay out. and they would stay out without any hesitation. I didn't even have to explain why, how much time I will take. No, they know, it's understood. So I have not, and even if I'm slow, if I'm fast, no judgments as such. They would say if I'm fast, they, yes, they would really appreciate me a lot. You're doing great and all that. If I'm slow, never mind, it's okay. That's how, just walk in your pace. So I have not faced criticism as such from the mountaineering community, but outside, yes, I have faced a lot of criticisms in the sense. Mainly because they would be like, she has way too many dreams, ambitions. The reason for the first marriage to break is because she wants to go on treks. I've heard all these kind of things from a lot of people. And even when you are too much into fitness, when you want to maintain your fitness, that was also a problem for the society as to why are you so much into fitness, you already have a child. And those kind of stupid comments used to come a lot. And other thing was, oh, you're just roaming around, you're not with your child. So these kind, I mean, there is not, even they know what I'm doing, I also know, but just have to pass some comment. Because somehow I think, when you don't follow the conservative methods of a society, you become naturally vulnerable to criticisms of the society. It's like they have a right to on you to criticize you as much as they want. So I think it's a natural phenomenon or something, I don't know. And I think we just have to just ignore that. That's what I did. So yes, that way I've faced, and even especially when my divorce was going on, that point of time when I used to go for climb and hike, it looked like, I don't care to so many people, like, oh, this is what I want, and now I'm having a happy life, great life. It appeared like that to so many people. And at that point of time, my support was mainly my son. He used to be like, mom, you go and all that. Then my mother, then my friends. So they were my constant support. So I think, yeah, criticisms, it's not inside the mountaineering community. Any criticism you face are from people who don't even know what is mountaineering. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, so really, like, those people who have that goal or aim in life,
Mhm.
they know what it is and they are quite
Correct.
understanding. But it
Yeah.
beats the others, who just don't even know what it is, but they feel that they can have an opinion and also share
Correct.
it openly. So,
Yeah. Right.
like, those frogs trying to pull you down, but it's just not
Doesn't
there.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what motivates you to keep pushing the boundaries, and
Mhm.
who inspires you the most?
What motivates me to keep pushing the boundary? See, I don't get inspired by any inspirational movies or quotes. I don't even get inspired by people, to be honest, because it's not like they do something and you just get inspired. It needs a lot of mind efforts from your head. Like, you have to do it, and you need to have a valid reason also as to why you want to do something. If you don't have both, whoever is trying to inspire, even if the most inspiring person is sitting right in front of you and trying to talk you through something and making you do, it will not happen unless you want to do. So now you say, I'm not an artist and I have no interest for drawing. So now if you're asking me to draw something, learn something, I would not reach anywhere in that because I have no interest on it.
Hmm.
Same way, say, or some other sports like probably archery. I don't have any interest in it. So even if you ask me to do, or if you give the best coach in the world, I don't think I will have any interest in it unless I have a passion for it. So what drives me is completely my passion and nothing else. It's just that if I'm passionate about something, and I think I'm a little adamant that way or aggressive that way, that I have to do it, I will do it somehow. Though that is what it is. And who inspires me the most about what they want to do in their life is my father, for sure, because he was a very self-made man. Be it his education, be it he started off as a normal government employee in Cochin refineries, and then from there he started doing a lot of side business and stuff. And he had no help from his family as such to meet any to buy, to have some assets basically. But everything he made by himself, by spending his time on a lot of things. Like after his job, he used to do overtime and work. He was an engineer in Cochin refineries, and he used to do overtime, make money, and then when he gets time, he used to go do real estate. Then some things like our construction, or something like that. He always had a side business. And he made I would say an empire of his own, in the sense, his world he made out of his own hard work. There were no help, literally nobody was there. Like, you say inherited property and all that. My father got nothing. I mean, he had nothing with him. He just started alone, and I don't know, I mean, everything we have, it's all because of the hard work of my father. And he was very clear about what he wanted, and he was a very brilliant man. Like, he had very good general knowledge. He knew a lot of languages, and he was proficient in anything he does, be it whatever it is. So I think, and I got inspired seeing him, because he was a perfect family man, that he wanted to take care of the family, will do anything for the family. At the same time, he had a vision for himself. He was very committed to his work, whatever he does. I think that's where I get inspired when I think about him, and I'll be like, I want to be like him, that self-made person, and not depending on anyone. When he passed away, my mom always says that she had nothing to worry about, because everything was ready there. And my mother, like, accept that your father is not there, I am still living like a queen the way your father took care of me. That's what she keeps saying, because he made sure her life will be as comfortable as it was when he was there, and our future and everything. So, and it's not like he expected something from us. Usually, in India at least, we have seen parents say this, that I am growing you up because you should do something for me when you are of right age, right? I'm not saying children shouldn't take care of their parents. Yes, they should do, as part of love for parents, or as part of that feeling of belonging or compassion. But it should never occur that your child is suffering, parents are suffering, or parents are fine, but your child is going through a lot of financial struggles, and then the parents would still come and say, you are not doing this for us, we grew you up, we had gone through so much of hard work. I think that's where some parents and children should draw a line, because even though you have grown up your child, you've gone through a lot of hard work. Every parents do, I do, you do, everyone does. But when your child is going through so much of trouble, everybody will have one point of time in their life where they go through so much of issues. And I think that time also we still need to act as parents, and same with child also. If parents are going through some issue, yes, if a child can help, they should definitely help. So it's a two-way bridge. There should not be a threatening or an emotional blackmail saying, I too did this for you, now you have to do this, otherwise your life will be bad, you wait and see how much you'll. I've seen a lot of parents doing this. So my father, not even once he mentioned about any of these. Like, I am doing whatever I can, I just want you to be happy. That's all he used to say. There was no expectation. Like, and I was feeling so bad, because I wanted to take care of my father when he's like old, and it was my dream. And I used to think of it, I mean, I just wanted him to get old so that I can take care of him. That's how it was. And that's something I miss, taking care of my father. Now my mother is there, but still, I miss that a lot. But when I think about it, my father had no I mean, he made sure his future is also secure by doing whatever it takes. So the amount of independency he had, like, he'll do what is needed, and what is needed for him, hardly he'll go to anyone for help. So I like that, and I think I'm also like that, and I want to be that. So when I'm old, I don't want to go to my child saying, I took care of you, I did this much for you, now it's time for you to do to me. No, he has his life, let him enjoy. He wants to see his mother, he can see parents, he can see, and that's the kind of relationship I want to have with my kids also. So yeah, and there is no one else that inspires me more than my father.
Okay, that's wonderful. So I was just actually reading about this, it's about legacy. So it's like, you think that what legacy you want to leave for your children.
Yeah.
So I can
right.
understand, like, what your father has left for you. Also, initially, what you were saying, that what inspires you when you were saying. So there's a wonderful quote which I truly believe in. It's like, when the egg breaks from inside, it gets
Correct.
light. And when it's broken from outside, it dies. So it's just that, it can only come from within. How much ever, so how many ever resources and all you have on the outside, nothing matters.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So what is your mother's legacy? Like, what do you learn from your mother?
So my mother is a very childish person. She's very playful. You put a song wherever it is, she'll just start dancing. So my mom is like that. I think that. So see, I am a bit. Maybe people call me a little serious or very goal-oriented, ambitious. So people like us naturally tend to be a little serious also sometimes. But my mother, she's just bindas. She just dance, and she doesn't even care who's sitting in front of you. She wants to thrash you, she'll thrash you. She wants to make fun of you, she'll do. Doesn't matter who it is, how elder that person is to you or how younger it is. So I've seen my mother do a lot of crazy things, just because she has that childishness in her. And I like that, when you are in stress, I wish I was like my mother, where, nothing goes to her head. Really, all she knows is to have fun. So I think that part, I don't know, maybe when you are too stressed, I always used to think, how is she doing this? How is she not able to, just be upset and sit for a while? I mean, she gets angry and all that. Then after an hour, fine. She doesn't even feel like it's happy. And I see her, that small, what do you call it? There's a small cycle kind of thing, right? It doesn't have a wheel and all. It's just, I think toddlers use it. So it's like a bike. I see my mom sometimes riding all that in house with my child, and or sometimes playing, singing all nursery songs with my dog. She does a lot of crazy things like that. And like I said, dancing, like she will be doing something, my husband will be working, then she'll go start dancing next to my husband, irritating him. So she does all of these, and I find it very cute. So at one point of time, when I'm done with my responsibilities and thing, I really want to be like her, not worried about the thing. I mean, my father's death really crashed her. She was totally alone, and that was COVID time, and we were alone. Like I told you, my mother was in a hospital, and I was alone at home, and that time my divorce was going on. So that was like the hardest period for us. But she came out of it really strong. And even when I break down thinking of my father, my mother would be so strong, and she would be like, it's just part of life. You should know to take it that way. And she's a person who doesn't have much. Obviously, she had a lot of expectation from my father, but otherwise, she's not a person who doesn't have any expectation from anyone else. If they do something bad, it's fine. If they do something good, it's good. She's like that. So even from us, the things she expect would be, if I am buying a bag, she's like, buy one for me too. It's not like when I am old, you should do this for me. The same thing, the same concept maintained my father. These small things, like say I buy some sort of cosmetic, she's like, oh, this is for me, I'll take it. That's all it is. There is nothing else. That's all it is. So I've never felt pressurized by my mom or dad, saying, whatever I do, it should be out of my love and my compassion for them. So even my mom is like that. And maybe when I'm old, when I'm like, I think I should be like her, having no worries, no tension, just happy. I think that's what I want to take from her.
So your mom definitely sounds like a very interesting personality. And I think her legacy is something that you don't just face the day as it is, and don't think too much about the past and future. She just lives.
Right.
She just.
Yes.
I think a lot of it has had to do with your father, being such a strong person and seeing to it that, she's always treated like a queen.
Yeah, that's true. That's entirely true.
All right, so that's great. So now, let us come to some reflections and advice from your side.
Mm-hmm.
So, like mountaineering sounds like a very expensive passion. So how do you deal with the logistical and the financial aspect of it?
So, since I started mountaineering, I have not been on a pleasure trip. Maybe somewhere here and there, but that's it. I have not actually gone on a long trip, to some countries outside India, or even here within India. So I've not really done that. And even my husband stopped doing it once he started mountaineering, because now, it's like both of us are going. So that's what it is. So I think the money we spend on doing a lot of trips outside the country, or some expensive or luxurious trips, we had to let go of that to do this. So but my son also wants to go on trips and all that. So for him, we take him here and there. But again, he's also into sports and stuff, and he keeps traveling for his championships and all that. So there also we have to spend a lot of money. So we three have an understanding that right now we cannot really go on some long trips, something like leisure trips, because we have other things to do. maybe once we stop that, then we would start this entertainment part of it. We would start exploring countries and all that. But right now both cannot go hand in hand, because with the regular, salaried people, we have to save also, we need to pay off the debts also, loans, and we have to go for this also. So I think somewhere you need to let go of one of the thing. So that's what now we are doing, because this recent climb only that we went, it was really expensive. And so we had other plans, but we had to cancel that plan. We're like, okay, chalo, let's just do this, and we will see that next year. So after Everest, maybe, I'm planning to take a small break from all this. So then maybe we'll think about something like that. But as of now, this is how we manage, because we really don't want to spend all our money on traveling. So somewhere we need to balance it, right? So yeah, that's all we do.
Okay.
And yes, clothing also, like the gears for mountaineering, most of the time I rent it. What can be rented, that I rent. And clothes, of course, you need your own. But other gears like carabiner or harness and all, I used to rent all that, ice axe, helmets. So you really you're not doing so many climbs in a year. Not like a person who keeps climbing, right? I just go once or twice in a year. So if I can just rent it, that's fine. I don't have to really spend so much money. But there are certain things like descender, ascender, that's better that you have your own, because it needs more of that personalized touch. Like, you should get used to that. So only such things I have. Otherwise, I just rent everything. So yeah, that's how we manage it.
Okay. So you balance it out, you know what you want to do, and then
Yeah.
you control your expenditure on other things. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's nice. And next one is like, what advice would you give to women who have such unconventional passions? How can they pursue?
See, when you are ready to do something that's so not conventional in societal, based on societal norms, I think you should decide that, you are going to face criticism. You should not feel bad about it. You should not take a step back because of that. And it's not easy to get acceptance. So when you decide to do something of that sort, the first thing I think you need to think is, uh, nobody is going to support you. People are going to question you. They will ask you why 100 times, especially if you're a mother. They will try to make you feel so guilty about the choices you made in life. And it's not like you do this and everyone will think you're a nice person, great person. No, you'll be more often looked upon as a selfish person who just wants to go on with her life, do her things, not even bother about so child, if you have a child. So that's how they look at you. Or they would be they you will stand out of society in a good way and a bad way. So there is a good side to it and bad side to it, and you should be just ready to accept both. Otherwise it will get difficult for you. So that choice is upon you. You want to do this, then be know this also, that there are like two sides of a coin. This also has two sides, the good side and the bad side. So both should not get into your head. Like, say somebody is praising you so much, then you should not you should still try to stay grounded. At the same time, someone is talking so negatively about you, and that time also you should not you should not let go of your dignity or individuality. Just just don't even listen to it. So I think that's what I want to tell the women out there. Because don't think anyone would support you the way you want. It's always you who support you the most, nobody else. And that is all that's going to help us. Nobody is going to, even if you see any inspiring women, whomever you take, you see, if you look at them, if you see the things they have gone through, they all have gone through this bad side and good side, right? It's not like one person. Yeah, it's not like one person has just got all applauds and a lot of applauding or laurels from the society. No, they've equally gone through there's a dark side which maybe we don't get to see much. So that's what it is. Whatever it is, just be ready to accept the good and bad, and be very clear about what you want to do, how much you want to do, why it is important. If you have a very clear vision about all this, then I think it's really easy.
Yeah. So, if you know the why, the how becomes easy. And
Correct.
also, I was just reading today that the article was labeled as have the least expectations from others and have the highest expectations from yourself. So,
Correct.
yeah, that's what we
Exactly.
need to understand, and just understand that it's okay. Some of them
Yeah.
will not understand, and there's no
No, that's
need
fine.
to explain everyone, and so that
Yeah.
that way we can never achieve anything.
No, absolutely not. Even when I'm doing this Everest, some are just looking at me as if, oh, why is she having so many big dreams? Yeah, like, why are you never done with what you have, sort of, mentality. And I cannot really do anything about it. So I've become so used to this now, it hardly matters to me, any of this. Like, you want to think, you think, you want to, even when somebody talks, like, say a lot of good things to me also, it doesn't go to my head, because it is just another side of it. So just, that's what it is.
Okay, like also, like, your passion, that is mountaineering. What do you think, like, how you can associate uh, it to your life? Like, how the lessons that you learn from mountaineering, how do you apply
Mhm.
to the different aspects of your life?
So, see, on mountaineering, we go for a summit after probably a year of workout, so much of hard work, investing a lot of money. And it is not necessary that you actually get to summit also, because you can have health issues. Weather can be really bad. It all depends on the weather too. And or there can be some issues, like there's a big crevice formed and you cannot go, the route is not clear. There can be a lot of reasons why you cannot submit. But you are going after a year of hard work, or probably for years you have been dreaming of climbing that peak, and it did not happen. So this way, how I applied it to my life is, you must be thinking, okay, the hard part of my life is over, now the good part will come, now there will be no issues in my life. No, that's not how it is. The hard part is always there, and the good part is also always there. I think with each hardest phase of life, you just learn how to deal with those issues. And for the first time, when you went through a hard part of your life, you would have been really broken down. You would have got into depression, or you had some sort of trauma. The second time also it would have happened, even the third time it would have happened, but the fourth time you might come out of it strong. This is what it is. So you don't then let yourself go into any sort of depression or trauma or any of that, because this is what it is. And you also know that after this phase there's a good phase coming. So it's a cycle. So I think that's what I apply to my life. Like, the bad part of life is never ending, the good part of life is also never ending. It all goes hand in hand. And you just have to live through it. There is nothing you can do about it, right? There is nothing. You go depressed. Who lost? You lost. Nobody else lost. You are very happy. Who gained? You gained. Nobody else gained. Right? So I think that's what it is. Even during summit, like, I couldn't submit. Yes, there's another peak I can go. I can come back to the same peak. Maybe I'll submit the next time again, or maybe I won't submit that peak again. So there are people who've tried one peak several times and they couldn't submit, and they just keep going back, or they go for another peak. Then they will submit that, they'll be happy. So there is no definitive, what do you call it? A definition to what is happiness in life. There's no definition. There's nothing you can't call happiness, because what makes you happy can make you sad also. So
Yeah.
I think that's what I applied to my life.
Okay, so that was really philosophical. Now, like, let us think about some personal and fun insights that you
Mhm.
had. So, if there's
Mhm.
any trek that you would want to relive, so what would that
Mhm.
be and why? Mm.
In terms of fun, right? That's what you're
Yes, a
asking.
fun trek. Mm.
Yeah, so there is one trek, Friendship Peak. It's in Manali. It's at a height of 5,900 something meter. And so I went with on this climb with one of my friend Naresh, and we slept off inside the tent. We didn't even know the trek started. And I think after the climb started, half an hour later, we understood, and we came out and we were seeing a lot of flashlights. We're like really far, and then we had no idea what to do. Should we go or no? And we started running. We were running, we were falling down, getting up, running, and it was so dark. I think the summit started at like 12:30 or something in the night, and we were just running, falling down in the dark. You just have the torchlight. I have no idea how we reached the group, and after some time, the group understood that we both are coming, because the flashlights were there. They waited for us, and it started off so bad. The pace was so bad. We lost it during the entire climb, and we were just falling down, sitting here there. I have no idea what we did during that trek, and it was a lot of fun, because we both were like together, and he's falling, I am falling, he's falling, I am falling. And while descending also, it is just falls and falls and falls, because you just lost, you don't have that confidence anymore, because when you start a trek now, you need to start with a good pace. That's what I feel. Even if it's like a long run or anything, I think you need to set a very good pace, and we didn't do that. We were just doing whatever we pleased to do. And post that, so I think that entire experience, it was not like any other climb. It was a disaster. And maybe I would want to do it again just for the fun of it, because it was with my friends. He's a very good friend of mine, and there were other friends too. So they all got up and they didn't even call us. They just went and we were just sleeping inside the tent. So I think, yeah, I when I think of that, I just laugh all the time. And this Chada trek also that we did, wherein we know we need to walk on frozen lake, and I got a very bad gum boots from Leh Market. That was really bad. There was no grip, so all I was doing was falling, lizard walking on the ice. And my team would be so ahead of me, and I would be still circling in one place, trying to get up, falling, trying to get up, falling. And the guide, and there was one more girl, she was also doing the same thing. So we both used to hold hands and try to get up. We would still fall. And then it was like that, you do the lizard walk now on floor. So we were doing a lot of crazy things that way. And I don't think the fun part, that kind of fun, has never happened in any trek. It was all serious climbs after that. But these two were like the initial climbs. And I wouldn't even call it treks or something, because we were just doing whatever we pleased to do on those treks. So yeah, I would like to do something like that again, because it's been so many serious climbs. And you're so serious about the next day, the training and all of that. The childish part of it, you become a child, that has been missing from really long. So maybe I would like to do something like that with my family.
Okay, so I think where there are no rules or regulations or guidelines being followed, you want to do something.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's nice. And what is the last question for the podcast? So it's like, what would be your ultimate dream destination or goal in life? Do you have something like that?
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
because it doesn't work for me.
Mhm.
See, I started learning MMA. I loved it so much, but now I have to leave it for a while because of my training for Everest, because I'm not able to accommodate so many things. So I really want to become a very good MMA. I really want to be excelling in MMA. So that is one thing. And then I also have a dream of becoming a fitness trainer. Like I want to do some certification courses. I want to do Ironman 70.3 before that in US, and then I want to become a fitness trainer and train a lot of women, you know make them, those kind of things. And then I will think, I'm also doing my CPA now. And so I'll be like, when I do my CPA, I want to be in a really good position. Like I want to become a partner. Right now I'm a manager, so I want to become a partner. And so it doesn't work for me. And I know I'm 35, but I still have no big dream or anything. But I do know this, that when I'm done with all of this, that is work and all of that, I would want to go to a very offbeat location, start organic farming, have a lot of organic farming, and have a lot of animals. I see these small on the butcher, inside the butcher shops, I see the goats being sold, there's really small ones. I really feel so upset seeing that. Every day there's one next to my house, and every day I go for running to park, I see these small ones. They have no idea they'll be butchered in next 1 hour, and they'll be just playing. That hurts me so much. I don't eat mutton and all that. So I'm not saying it's a mistake, but the sight of that, no, that you just came to the world, and the next thing is you're going to be dead. It hurts me so much seeing that. And I love animals, be it a frog or a turtle, or I love whatever it is. Even I was yesterday playing with a frog next to my gym. So I love, so I want to go to a very offbeat location where there are like really less humans, and I want to start organic farming. And I want to, my friends would be the localites in that village, that place, give them job in my place, like will help me with agriculture and all that, and have lot of animals like these goats and cows, and they all should be left free. Like they will have a shed and all that, but they should be like just running here and there. I would also be with them all the time. That's the kind of old age I would want to have. That's I am very sure about that. There's
Okay.
nothing else that I'm sure about.
So that's such a beautiful goal. So yeah, like you want to do something for those who are not able to
Yeah,
help themselves at all.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's a beautiful goal, and it was lovely talking to you, and learned so much from you, and truly inspired. I'm sure your story will inspire a lot of us, and I just can't wait for the edit and then post it.
And thank you so much for having me. Like I said, it's not everybody would just go after record breakers or some celebrated climbers or whatever they are doing to sorry, celebrated climbers, or I mean, whoever is very famous in their sports or field. So taking people out of that and showing, that's like a great, because when you already take an established person, you would get more views and more followers and all of that, but still doing it in a very different way. I really appreciate that, and I hope you get a lot of inspiring people like this and your podcast really grows well.
Thank you so much. It means a lot coming from you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Okay, chal. Bye bye.
Bye.
So that ends the podcast with Sreesha Ravindran. Now, speaking to her, I felt that does she have 24 hours just like the all of us, or does she have some more time to her? I don't know how she's managing all this. But on a serious note, yes, when you have a dream, a goal that you want to achieve, you learn to detach yourself from anything or anyone who is not meant to be, and then also you will also attract those circumstances and people who want to be a part of your journey, who are happy for you, and those who are not, just leave them aside. And I am really inspired. I hope you all are too, and I wish her all the best in her endeavor to climb the Mount Everest, to be the first woman from Kerala to climb the mount. Thank you everyone for watching.